Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod. We have Jackson Aaron with us. Jackson is founder at Wayward Publishing. He's also working at Dow Jones as new business sales executive, young guy. We're gonna talk about sales, about foundership, and everything between. This pod is brought to you by podparty.com. If you want to start or scale a podcast, go to podparty.com. Jackson, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
Yeah, Charles, appreciate you having me on. Thanks for the opportunity. So, like you said, I am a founder of Wayward Publishing. We're an online marketing and music publishing company. So, we work with independent artists to get their music on Spotify, Tidal, and Apple Music. As well, I'm at Dow Jones. I'm a new business sales executive. So, full sales cycle there, bringing on new brands onto our three main product offerings. Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
How do you split your time between your company and Dow Jones nowadays?
Great question. Great question. So, working remote and, going into the office as well with a hybrid, it's really important to plan out your day. Obviously, with Dow Jones, I'm 9 to 5, so I make sure to set aside my time, set aside my priorities and goals. So, usually writing down 5 or 6 things I need to do here in the day, making sure I get done with those by 5 o'clock, or if not, finishing them after. And then doing the same for my startup, my small company, making sure I have 3 to 5 goals after my 9 to 5 is the biggest way to make sure you balance the time between both.
How did you get the idea behind Wayward? How did you get started?
Yeah, great question. So I actually started it in between high school and college, right before my freshman year. I was trying to look and see, how do you get music onto Spotify? How do you get music onto Apple Music? And the question wasn't really it didn't really have a clear answer. So identifying that potential need for artists and trying to create a company to help them get their music there and filling that need well.
Right. So you started that one 6 years ago. You worked directly with artists with that one, and what can you do for them?
Yeah. So we work directly with them. We'll publish their music. That includes creating pre-save links so that they can drive, pre-saved on Spotify and Apple Music to build their audience, creating different marketing campaigns, going out and creating a social media calendar. So scheduling their release at the end of the month, but showing how many releases, or excuse me, how many posts they need before that release comes out to drive engagement, as well as making sure that their release has the right saved links so you can easily get, publish it, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram as well, and really make sure that your audience is able to find your music.
Right. And artists, are they tough to target at scale as a salesperson? And aren't most of them quite broke to pay for your services?
Great question. Great question. I think it's twofold. So you're really targeting who you're working with. So you want to balance between established artists and people who are already within the marketplace, as well as finding new people who are publishing music. That includes looking on Instagram, looking on SoundCloud, TikTok now is a big one for artists who are putting their music out, trying to grow their fan base. So really trying to balance that. And then offering different services. So we don't just offer publishing, we also offer marketing consulting. So maybe a customer is only interested in music publishing for right now, getting their music out. So fits more of their budget. And if they're more of an established one, we also marketing consulting. So a little bit more of geared towards established artists who might have more budget.
I see examples of projects here with Dylan, I believe the guy's called. So you basically get them a bunch of views. Do they get ROI off that? Do they get contracts? Do they get labels approaching them? Like, do you see like further down the funnel?
Yeah, great question. So we don't work with them as a label. We actually work with them as a consulting firm. So they're not signing a contract with us. They're our customer. We work with them. We're partners that grow their brand. The biggest ROI you want to see as an artist is your royalties. So your royalties from your streaming. You want to see more social media followers. Then you also said, like you mentioned, you want to hear brand names. You want to hear labels picking them up. Dylan has some ad spots with June Shine, a alcoholic kombucha brand, as well as working with Jaden Smith. So he's seen some success. We're trying to build off that with an upcoming album. So just trying to push more, more like that, get more brand spots as well as more royalties.
Right. And I was referring, like, do you actually help them get contracts with label or get brands to sponsor them, etc.?
Yeah, so one of the things we'll do is we'll put together a media packet. So gather up some of the songs, some of the press releases, some of the concerts he's done, as well as some of the ad spots, to try and book those opportunities to get new contracts. Recently, Dylan was trying to put together for a Converse ad, so we were putting together some media opportunities for that as well.
Quite good, Dylan. I'm gonna listen to his songs. Um, and how do you actually find these artists at scale? You know, like Dylan, did you personally knew him, or how does that work?
Yeah, so Dylan was a fun use case. So I listened to him on Spotify and I heard his song a few years back. So I went through, looked at his social media that was tagged on his Spotify artist account and actually reached out to him one on one, did a little bit more personalized approach to gain that one on one and that nice personalization there. I think that's one of the biggest things is sometimes scale is great, but being able to use personalized approach is really beneficial, specifically for artists who aren't, your typical buyers. They aren't your, typical buying cycle. They appreciate, a softer approach.
So how are you growing that company at scale? What's in the plans for the growth of the company this year?
Yeah, great question. Right now, we're doing a lot of prospecting, looking at potential artists. I've attended a few shows here in New York, in Brooklyn, and then also in Manhattan, trying to find artists who are looking and coming up. They're performing in set. They're looking to grow their audience. They have a sound that they're looking to establish. Reaching out like I did the first time, and then just trying to gain those relationships. So once those are in place, saying, hey, we offer these services. We're looking to help you put out these releases. Is there something you're interested in? Then once those releases are done, really foster that relationship and see if it can grow also into a marketing consulting relationship as well.
Interesting. Um, the Dow Jones part of the jobs, what have you learned from your time there since a couple of years?
Yeah, great question. So I've been at Dow Jones for almost 4 years now. I started as a SDR, so completely top of funnel, setting up meetings, trying to generate those first touch points with our customers into a new business sales executive role now. Now I've gone from just top funnel all the way into setting up and onboarding our new customers. I think the biggest thing is just learning actual sales cadence, learning how to go from that top of funnel to actually, prospecting, qualifying, contracting, and closing, and then handling all the objections throughout that. That's definitely the biggest things I've learned. So I think it's really good experience to, apply and then grow from that SDR to that AE role.
And what is it that you sell exactly and to whom?
Yeah, so Dow Jones, we have three main product offerings. We span, a lot of different buying centers, but majorly we work with risk compliance, so lawyers, trade compliance professionals who are importing goods, or banks trying to screen new customers or new lenders. We sell our Factiva Global News database, which is really meant for research, trying to boil down and see companies, people in the news, and getting understanding of the news sentiment around them. And then our last main product offering is our newswire services. So this is, the WSJ, the Wall Street Journal, Market Watch, and our Barron's newswires, and a financial institutional newswire service, and then also into a deliverable data for quant trading.
Okay, so you're selling data, and what titles do you target?
Yeah, so we target all over, everyone from general counsels to chief compliance officers for risk compliance. For Factiva, we'll work with market intelligence, business intelligence insiders, as well as executives at consulting firms who are looking to get better understanding of their customers and the industries they work with. And then newswires, it can be everyone from the head of quant trading to actual retail investors who are just looking to get instant news updates on the industry they're trading on.
So what methods do you use to sell with that one? Because I see you recruited members from Wall Street Journal, CEO Council, CFO Network, and CCO Council. So a lot of LinkedIn outreach. Do you also cold email?
Yeah, so the WSJ Council is something new for my team. So the Wall Street Journal hosts several council and networking groups for C-suite executives of companies $2 billion of revenue and higher. So, it's really important executives all across various industries in the United States. We'll reach out on the phones, we'll reach out over email and LinkedIn, try and schedule these relationships and, make sure we introduce ourselves. The Wall Street Journal is a very reputable brand, so a lot of these C-suite executives love hearing more from us. And it's a very powerful, very powerful networking. We've had Elon Musk, Michelle Obama, and more speak at these events, so they're very well attended and very well regarded.
Interesting. What are your top goals for this year?
Yeah, great question. Obviously, for sales, it's first hitting your number. That's the most important thing. I think growing my pipeline is also on top of my list. Want to make sure that I'm always driving not just new business closing, but also new business into my pipeline. And then really trying to drive some of our newer products at Dow Jones, and then staying on top of our content cycle. So we have an upcoming webinar, so trying to push that out both to email, then also with LinkedIn, just trying to stay active as well. I think that's a really good goal. And then for my personal company, I really want to see push Dylan's album out, get that release. I want to grow those royalty numbers over over 6 figures this year. Hopefully by the end of the year, that's something we can accomplish. I want to aim for 5 to 6 new artists as well on the company brand.
Where can people find out more about you, Jackson?
Yeah, great question. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Jackson Aaron. You can also find my company. I'll make sure to tag it. It's waywardpublishingonline.com. So you can find all of our information there if you'd like to reach out. Or if you'd like to reach out about Dow Jones, just reach out to dowjones.com as well. And we'll be happy to speak with you about that.